Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai Satcharitra, an Insight. Episode 77. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan Brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnuhu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, now let us listen about another sparrow that was drawn towards Baba by named Sate. Before we heed to this Leela, I would like to make an important clarification to the devotees. Many misunderstand this Sate to be Harivinayak Sate, the one who built Satevada and about whom we have read in Sri Sai Satcharitra at various circumstances. Please make a note that both the Sates are not the same. In Sri Sai Satcharitra, Hemat Panji has not mentioned this devotee's first name but just addressed him with his surname, which was Sate. Now let's see how this sparrow was drawn towards Sri Sainath Maharaj. This happened when Lord Ray became the governor of the Bombay state, now Mumbai, overthrowing Arthur Travers Crawford's regime. When Crawford was appointed as the first municipal commissioner and collector of Mumbai, the water supply was scanty, garbage was piling up, and the mortality rate was very high, say 40 per thousand. To fix these challenges, Crawford himself cleaned the streets, sprayed disinfectant, fixed drains, sanitized the states, and in 2 years he lowered the mortality rate from 35,000 to 18,000. However, his plans greatly overshot the civic budget and he was accused of financial mismanagement. Crawford was also alleged that he had accepted bribes from Mamlatdars, and this prompted a fierce public debate led by Lokmanya Tilak and Gopal Krishna Gokhale. An inquiry commission chaired by Judge Arthur Wilson of the Calcutta High Court found Crawford not guilty of accepting bribes but only borrowed money from official subordinates. Subsequently, he was removed from the list of civil service and was asked to return to London. Devotees might wonder what connection we have with the history of Crawford's regime as the governor of Bombay with this episode. Let me clarify now. In Sri Sai Satcharitra, Hemat Panji has made a mention that a gentleman named Mr. Sate came for Baba's darshan when Crawford's regime was thrown and the former was totally distressed as he was suffering heavy loss in business. But the correlation between these two subjects were not mentioned in Sri Sai Satcharitra, hence I decided to throw some light on this topic. I hope now listeners can connect the dots well. So, Mr. Sate was a very affluent and a popular person, and he was basically acting as a contractor for all the jobs related to government services during Crawford's regime. Therefore, he was approached by many and earned a good sum of money. He was also one among those who had advanced money to Crawford, and as he was sent back to London, Sate not only lost all his money as few others, but also missed the opportunity of continuing his business as a contractor, and that was the reason for his miseries. Hence, the key idea to quote the incidences from Crawford's life was to elaborate the reasons of Sate's troubled mind. Sate, who was leading a very opulent and glorious life, lost all his fame, respect, and money in no time. So, devotees, we can imagine how disheartening it could be for him. He passed few years of his life in this painful state. Unless someone is enduring great difficulty, they don't remember God, and then they slowly become devoted to God, sharing their hue and cry, pleading for relief. But until their sins are diminished, God doesn't come for rescue. If the devotee develops unswerving faith on God, however, as token of appreciation to his steadfast devotion, God will guide him to a guru, and the guru will grant him peace of mind, prosperity accompanied with divine experiences, and ultimately transform him into a devotee of God. As Sate was much disturbed, he decided to go on a journey and stay in seclusion for some time. Just then, his friends gave him a good suggestion, which turned out to be a greatest blessing in his life. They said, "Please go and have darshan of Sri Sainath Maharaj. He is an epitome of mercy. His mere glance would annihilate all your problems, grant you peace of mind, and bestow greater benefits upon you." This advice of his friends brought greater hope in the mind of Sate, and Hemad Pant had used beautiful similes to express those thoughts. Upon hearing this suggestion, Sate felt the happiness of a person who was agonized by terrible hunger, served with varieties of delicacies, or someone who has been tormented because of drought and thus reduced to poverty if he is suddenly showered with ample wealth. Devotees, having darshan of a saint itself is of paramount importance. Furthermore, if a person is distressed and has been looking for a relief by visiting a saint, then his expectations and eagerness will be in multitude. Such was Sate's situation. He was extremely anxious and was excited about Baba's darshan. The moment he saw Baba, the self luminous, eternal Brahman, he immediately prostrated at Baba's feet and was immensely happy. His mind attained calmness, which he has lost for the past few years due to the turmoil. The most compassionate Sainath Maharaj made Sate sit next to him, placed his grace bestowing hand on his head, and Sate immediately felt relaxed and contented. Baba now instructed him to do a parayan, that is, reading for 7 days of Guru Charitra. Mr. Sate, who was lodging in Satewada, at once started his parayan. He made it a practice to do his reading and then come every day for Baba's darshan. He completed his reading on the seventh day, and the same night he was blessed with a dream vision in which Baba appeared sitting on his seat and Sate sat in front of him while Baba held the Guru Charitra book in his hand and explained it to him as that of a scholar. Sate listened peacefully and full of respect. The dream ended. Immediately, Sate woke up from sleep and was amazed at the blessing showered by Baba upon him. His throat choked with love. He marveled at the divine play of Sainath Maharaj. He felt the tender heart and compassion of Baba towards him. He realized that Baba is his sole protector. He is the Supreme Brahman. He is the Trinity incarnate. Guru is the guide who opens the inner eyes of the intellect and reveals the grandeur of the inner self. Sate shared this dream vision to Gaga Sahib Dikshit and requested him thus: "I do not understand the meaning of this divine dream. Can you please ask Baba, as he is the only one capable to explain the intrinsic details of this dream vision?" Sri Gaga Sahib Dikshit approached Baba at an appropriate hour and beseeched thus, O Lord, this Sate has completed his Parayan of Guru Charitra and had this dream vision. As he could not understand the import of it, can you please explain on this and guide him if he has to do one more Parayan, or can he stop with this? Dikshit ji further added, I just have this prayer at your feet, Baba. He is a very sincere devotee and is now troubled due to the losses suffered from his business. So please have mercy on him and bless him. Baba said, let there be more recitation. By reading this Guru Charitra, devotees are purified. This book is highly beneficial for those who recite, as it showers greatest blessings upon them by breaking the worldly shackles and the chain of birth and death. Thus, Baba imparted the significance of doing the Parayan of this holy scripture, Guru Charitra, and advised for one more reading. This discussion took place in Dwarakamai while Baba was seated on his asan, that is, seat, and Hemat Panji was also present there, serving Baba by massaging his lotus feet. Witnessing all these scenes, and instantly a thought provoked in his mind. How is that? I have been serving Baba for 7 years and has not reaped the blessings, while Sate is bestowed in his first visit and just a stay of 7 days in Shirdi. Hemat Panji had Baba's first darshan in the year 1910 and has been in Baba's path since then, whereas Sate arrived in the year 1917, which is almost 7 years after him, and got such a great blessing was Hemat Panji's botheration. Moreover, Sate just did one saptaha of Guru Charitra Parayan, and that has given this greater benefit, and Hemat Panji felt his 40 years of reading has not given him any fruit. His mind became restless. He thought, I am seated here always at the holy feet of Baba, eagerly waiting for his grace, pondering when will the all-merciful God Sainath bless me with such divine experiences and fructify my sadhana. Such annoying thoughts clouded up his mind, and he was self debating. But what is unknown for the omniscient God Sainath Maharaj? Millions of doubts, questions might arise in our mind, be it good or bad. All is known to that all knowing, divine incarnate Sai Baba. Devotees, Baba's ways are unfathomable. Let's listen how skillfully Baba handled this situation and pacified the thoughts of Hemat Panji by giving him an appropriate reply that clarified all his doubts. Baba never encourages comparisons or interference of devotees in the services rendered by others to him. Baba outrightly condemns such behavior, and there are many instances in Sri Sai Satcharitra that reflects on this subject, which we will be listening in the subsequent episodes. Man has his own limitations, whereas God is beyond limitations. So, He decides what is best for each one depending on their past, present, and future. We can never gauge the merits of God by any tool, as they will not fit into any parameters. Guru is ever vigilant. Whatever bad thoughts that arise in our mind will be suppressed down by Baba, and at the right moment provokes good thoughts and cultivates good behavior. Baba immediately decided to redirect Hemat Panji's thoughts. So he said, Stop. Now get up. Go to Shama. Collect dakshina of rupees 15 from him. Stay there and chit-chat with him. Then you may return. This scene was very beautifully depicted in Sri Sai Satcharitra by Hemat Panji in his OV. He says, the most compassionate Mother Sai decided to impart a lesson to me, and this he did so proficiently that neither I realized that I was being molded in his hands, nor he hurt my feelings for bearing such irrational thoughts, or none assembled there can contemplate the reason for Baba to send me to Shama. But at the same time, the moral of the lesson got etched in my heart acutely. Oh, what a great strategy Baba had applied! It is the very nature of the Guru that they don't even permit our thoughts to go disruptive. Sainath reconciles not only our actions but also our thoughts secretly. This painstaking love of Sai can be compared to a mother who tries to pour some bitter medicine into the mouth of her sick child as that would heal the little one, and while attempting to do that, the mother lovingly supports her hand under the lower jaw of the child and holds it upright carefully that the medicine gets into the child's mouth without much strain. The loving touch of the mother will make the child not mind the bitterness of the medicine. Baba's means to impart wisdom to his devotees is also like this. He slowly, cautiously, and lovingly directs our crooked mind towards a good standard of morality. Now, Hemat Panji went straight to Shama's house, which was not far from Dwarakamai. His mind was still lingering upon all that happened in Dwarakamai. As water mirrors your face, so your face mirrors your heart. Hence, he was not looking cheerful as always. Just then, Shama had finished his bath and was putting on his dhoti and draping the folds of the dhoti. As soon as Shama looked at Hemat Panji, he could make out that the latter was restless. First, he was surprised to see Hemat Panji at his doorsteps at odd hours, as Hemat Panji would usually be in Dwarakamai during that time, and every day Shama would also finish his daily puja rituals and then go to Dwarakamai. Hence, he asked Hemat Panji, are you coming from Dwarakamai? What happened? You have come alone and look sad. What is the issue all about? Hemat Panji was not comfortable to disclose his mind. Hence, he just said, Baba sent me to get dakshana of rupees 15 from you and to sit and chat with you for few minutes, so I came at this time. Shama responded thus, I am a rustic villager, whereas you are well educated and from city. What can this ignorant one talk to you about the great leelas of this incomprehensible one? The methods adopted by Baba are amazing. Anyways, let me go and quickly do my daily rituals and get back to you. Until then, please sit down and enjoy this pan. Saying so, he handed over the pan box with chunna and betel nut, as eating pan is a popular culture among the Maharashtrians. Shama said, by the time you eat pan, I will finish my puja. Afterwards, we can sit comfortably and talk at leisure. Saying so, he went inside his house. Hemat Panji was seated close to the window and found the book of Nath Bhagwat, which was lying on the window sill. Nath Bhagwat is a commentary by Eknath Maharaj on the 11th skanda, that is, section of the Bhagwat, which had 32 chapters. As this great epic is authored by Sri Eknath Maharaj, the book got its name as Nath Bhagwat. Now, when Hemat Panji casually picked up this book and opened it, he was surprised, as that page was from the chapter which he was reading that morning, but left it incomplete. He had a practice of reading a portion of this book every day, and as he was lodging in the Vada, and that morning when sat to read, the other devotees in the Vada were ready to proceed towards Dwarakamai and asked if Hemat Panji is going to accompany them. Immediately, he closed the book owing to his eagerness to have Baba's darshan and didn't do that day's reading. So now, as he landed upon the same page of Eknathi Bhagavad, which he didn't read in the morning, Hemat Panji thought that Baba, who always encourages good thoughts and fructifies it, didn't want him to break the practice of his regular study of the Holy Scripture, which is termed as Upasana. Hence, he had sent him to Shama's house in the guise of collecting dakshana with a specific instruction to sit and chat with him for some time. Marveling at the divine sport of Baba, Hemat Panji began his reading. Now, as he completed his reading, Shama also finished his daily puja rituals and came to the spot where Hemat Panji was seated. Devotees, before discussing further details upon this Leela, it is inevitable for us to know the essence of this great book. How Baba gave substantial importance to the Parayan of this book and to whom he delegated the regular reading of this book in Shiradi. There are many such fascinating details connected to this chapter. We shall listen to those in the coming episodes. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.